I was picking up my prescription at the Walgreens on 5th Street when I saw him. My son, Michael, standing at the checkout with a basket of groceries. Nothing unusual about that, except when the cashier rang him up, his card was declined. Then another card. Declined. I watched him pull out what looked like food stamps, his face burning red with embarrassment. This was my son who made $75,000 a year as a pharmacist. Something was very, very wrong. I waited until he was walking to the parking lot. He didn't have his Subaru, the one I'd helped him buy just 2 years ago. He was walking toward the bus stop. "Michael," I called out. He turned, and I saw something in his eyes I'd never seen before. Fear. "Mom, what are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same thing." I gestured toward the bus stop. "Where's your car?" He looked away. "Jennifer needed it today. Her car is in the shop." Jennifer. His wife of 6 years. I'd never quite warmed to her, but I'd kept my mouth shut. That's what you do when your kids get married. You smile, you're polite, you hope for the best. Why didn't she just take hers to the shop and leave you yours? "It's complicated, Mom." "And the credit cards?" He shifted the grocery bags. "We're just having some cash flow issues. It's temporary." "Michael, you're a pharmacist. You make good money. What cash flow issues?" His phone buzzed. He glanced at it, and I saw his whole body tense. "I need to go, Mom. Jennifer's waiting for these groceries. But you're taking the bus." "It's fine. It's only 20 minutes. I watched him walk away, and every instinct I had was screaming that this wasn't fine, not even close. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing Michael's face at that checkout counter. The shame, the fear. I'd raised him by myself after his father died when Michael was 12. We'd been a team, just the two of us, until he met Jennifer in college. She was studying business, she said. She had big plans. She was going to start her own consulting firm. That was 8 years ago, and as far as I knew, she was still planning. The next morning, I did something I'm not proud of. I drove to Michael's house in Riverside Heights, the neighborhood where they'd bought a beautiful 4-bedroom colonial 3 years ago. I'd given them $20,000 toward the down payment. Money I'd saved for decades working as a dental hygienist. The house was empty. Not just nobody home. Empty. I cupped my hands against the front window and looked inside. No furniture, nothing. There was a lockbox on the door handle, a "for rent" sign in the yard. My heart was pounding. I called Michael immediately. "The house," I said when he answered. "What happened to the house?" There was a long pause. "We had to downsize, Mom. The mortgage was too high." "Downsize to where?" "We're renting a place in Hillcrest. It's smaller, but it's fine." "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want you to worry." "Where's all your furniture?" "We sold most of it. We're starting fresh." "Michael, none of this makes sense. You make $75,000 a year." "Mom, I really can't talk about this right now. I'm at work." "When can we talk about it?" "I don't know. I have to go." He hung up. My son had never hung up on me before. I sat in my car outside that empty house for a long time. Then I called my friend Patricia, who worked in real estate. "Can you find out who owns a property?" I asked. "Of course. What's the address?" I gave her Michael's address. She called me back 20 minutes later. "It's in foreclosure," she said. "Has been for 6 months. The bank took it back. There's a record of a quitclaim deed transfer from about a year ago. Looks like Michael signed the property over to his wife, Jennifer Caldwell. Then she refinanced it, took out almost $150,000 in cash, then stopped making payments. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. "Are you okay?" Patricia asked. "I'm fine," I lied. "Thank you, Patricia." I wasn't fine. I was furious and terrified, because if Jennifer had stolen Michael's house, what else had she taken? Over the next week, I did what I should have done years ago. I investigated. I found the apartment in Hillcrest. It was in a rundown complex near the industrial park. The rent was $800 a month for a 1-bedroom. When I knocked on the door, nobody answered. I waited in my car. At 6:15, I saw Michael get off the bus at the corner. He was walking home from the pharmacy where he worked. It was 4 miles away. He walked into the building, shoulders slumped, carrying his work bag. I waited another hour. Then I saw Jennifer pull up in Michael's Subaru. She wasn't alone. There was a man in the passenger seat, tall, dark hair, wearing an expensive-looking suit. They were laughing. She kissed him before he got out, not a friendly kiss. Then she drove away. The man walked into the same building where Michael lived. I felt sick. I called my nephew, David, who's a police officer in the next county. I need you to run a name for me, I said. Jennifer Caldwell, and I need to know anything you can find about her. Aunt Catherine, I can't just run people's names without cause. My son is in trouble, David. I think his wife is stealing from him. I think she's destroying him. Please. There was a pause. Give me until tomorrow. David called me the next morning. Aunt Catherine, Jennifer Caldwell has a brother, Marcus Caldwell. He's been investigated 3 times for fraud. He runs something called Pinnacle Investment Consulting. It's basically a front. They bring in money from investors, promise huge returns, and then the money just disappears. He's never been charged because he's good at covering his tracks. But he's on the Financial Crimes Unit's radar. Is Jennifer involved? Not officially, but she's listed as the COO of Pinnacle Investment Consulting. My hands were shaking. That's where the money went. The house refinance, Michael's salary, all of it was going to this scam company. There's something else, David said. I looked up your son's credit report. He has 5 credit cards maxed out, total debt of about $90,000, all opened in the last 2 years. Michael would never. I know, David said quietly, which means someone opened them in his name. Identity theft. She was stealing my son's identity. What do I do? I asked. You need to talk to Michael, and you need to get him a lawyer. This is bad, Aunt Catherine, really bad. But when I tried to call Michael, it went straight to voicemail. I texted him. No response. I drove to the pharmacy where he worked. The manager, a woman named Carol who I'd met at Michael's wedding, pulled me aside. I'm worried about him, she said. He's lost weight. He seems exhausted. Last week he fell asleep during his lunch break and missed his shift. That's not like him at all. I need to see him, I said. He's in the back. Let me get him. When Michael came out, he looked terrible. His uniform was wrinkled. He had dark circles under his eyes. He'd lost at least 20 pounds. Mom, what are you doing here? We need to talk. I'm at work. I know about the house, Michael. I know about the credit cards. I know about Marcus. His face went white. You don't understand. Then help me understand. We went to his car, the old Honda Civic he'd had in college, apparently the only vehicle he had access to now. He sat in the driver's seat with his head in his hands. She said it was an investment, he finally said. Marcus had this opportunity, real estate development in Florida. It was going to triple our money in 2 years. We could pay off everything and have enough left over to buy a bigger house. Maybe have another baby. Ryan's 4 now, and she wanted him to have a sibling before the age gap got too big. Ryan, my grandson. I hadn't seen him in 3 weeks. Every time I'd tried to set up a visit, Jennifer said they were busy. So you refinanced the house? She refinanced the house. She said it would be easier if it was in her name because I was at work all day and couldn't make it to the title company. I trusted her, Mom. She's my wife. And the credit cards? I didn't know about those until the bills started coming. She said she needed them for business expenses for Pinnacle. Said Marcus would pay them off at the end of the quarter. But the quarters kept passing and the bills kept getting bigger. Then she said if I told anyone, if I tried to stop her, she'd leave and take Ryan. She has a lawyer. She showed me papers. She said I'd been financially irresponsible, that I'd opened credit cards and maxed them out, that I'd defaulted on our mortgage. She said no judge would give custody to someone like that. Michael. That's not true. But the documents all have my signature. My name is on everything. How do I prove I didn't do it? We get you a lawyer. We go to the police. This is fraud, sweetheart. This is identity theft. He shook his head. You don't understand. 2 nights ago, Marcus came to the apartment. He said I owed him money. He said if I didn't pay him back for the investment losses, he'd make sure I never saw my son again. He said he knows people. He said accidents happen. I felt cold. He threatened you? Mom, these people are dangerous. Jennifer's not the person I thought she was. I don't even know who she is anymore. But I can't lose Ryan. He's everything to me. You're not going to lose Ryan. I promise you that. But I didn't know if I could keep that promise. I just knew I had to try. I spent the next 3 days gathering evidence. I hired a private investigator named Tom Reeves, a retired cop who'd helped my friend's daughter in a custody case. I gave him everything I knew. He came back with more than I expected. Jennifer and Marcus had run this scam before, in Arizona. 3 victims there, all men married to Jennifer's friends. They'd get the husbands to invest, drain their accounts, then move on. Jennifer had been married twice before Michael. Both previous husbands had filed police reports, but by the time the investigations got going, Jennifer and Marcus had disappeared across state lines. Why didn't this come up when Michael did a background check before marrying her? I asked Tom. Did he do a background check? I didn't know. Probably not. Who does a background check on someone they love? Tom also found the man I'd seen Jennifer with. His name was Derek Hutchinson. He was the regional manager at a car dealership. He'd invested $60,000 with Pinnacle 6 months ago. He was sleeping with Jennifer while she bled him dry, too. We have enough for the police, Tom said. Fraud, identity theft, possibly extortion with the threats Marcus made, but we need Michael to file a report. He's terrified they'll take Ryan. They won't. Not with what we have. Jennifer's the one who's going to lose everything. I went back to Michael's apartment. This time, I knocked. Jennifer answered. She was dressed in a designer outfit I knew cost more than Michael made in a week. Her nails were professionally done. She was wearing jewelry I'd never seen before. Catherine. What a surprise. I need to see Michael. He's not here. He's working a double shift. Then I need to see my grandson. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. That's not really a good time right now. I wasn't asking, Jennifer. I want to see Ryan. She started to close the door. I put my foot in the way. Get your foot out of my door or I'll call the police. Call them. I'd love to talk to the police about the $150,000 you stole from my son, about the credit cards you opened in his name, about your brother's investment scam. Her face changed. The fake smile dropped. What she replaced it with was cold and hard. You don't know what you're talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know about Arizona. I know about your other husbands. I know about Derek Hutchinson. I know everything, Jennifer. If you say anything, if you go to the police, Michael will never see his son again. I will disappear, and you will never find us. That's kidnapping. Prove it. I'm his mother. I have full legal rights. And Michael is a mess. He's depressed. He can't manage money. He's barely holding down his job. No judge would give him custody over me. That's when I heard a small voice from inside the apartment. Mommy? Ryan appeared behind Jennifer, holding a stuffed dinosaur. His hair was too long and he looked thin. Grammy! He tried to push past Jennifer, but she grabbed his arm. Go to your room, Ryan. But Grammy's here. I said go to your room! She shoved him back into the apartment. He started crying. Something in me snapped. I pushed the door open and walked in. Jennifer tried to block me, but I moved past her and scooped Ryan into my arms. It's okay, baby. Grammy's here. You need to leave. Now. Jennifer pulled out her phone. Or I'm calling the police and telling them you broke into my home and tried to kidnap my son. I looked at her. Really looked at her. And I saw something I'd missed before. She was scared. Under all that anger and threats, she was terrified. Call them, I said. Please. Because when they get here, I'm going to tell them about Pinnacle Investment Consulting. I'm going to tell them about the identity theft. I'm going to tell them about the fraud, and then they're going to arrest you and Marcus, and you're going to go to prison. Her hand was shaking. You're bluffing. Try me. We stood there for a long moment, Ryan clinging to me, Jennifer's phone in her hand. Then the door opened. Michael walked in. He looked at me holding Ryan, at Jennifer with her phone, and I saw him make a decision. I'm done, he said to Jennifer. It's over. Michael, sweetie, your mother is being dramatic. No, I'm done. I know everything. About the house, the credit cards, Marcus, all of it. I'm done being scared. I'm done letting you threaten me. I'm done. You'll lose, Ryan. No, I won't. Because my mother is right. You're going to prison. Jennifer's mask cracked completely. You can't prove anything. That's when Tom Reeves walked in behind Michael. He'd been waiting in the hallway. I'm a licensed private investigator, and I've been documenting everything for the past week. Bank records, surveillance footage of you and Marcus meeting with investors, phone records, everything. And I just emailed all of it to the fraud division of the police department and the FBI. Jennifer's face went pale. "You're under arrest would be an appropriate response right about now," Tom said. "But I'm not a cop anymore, so I'll let them handle that part. They should be here in about 10 minutes. I called them on my way up." Jennifer ran. She grabbed her purse and ran for the door. Tom didn't try to stop her. Neither did we, because 3 police cars were already pulling up outside. The next few hours were a blur. Jennifer was arrested in the parking lot. Marcus was picked up at the Pinnacle office. They found evidence of 7 other victims besides Michael. The total fraud was over $800,000. Derek Hutchinson, the car dealer Jennifer had been sleeping with, came forward when he heard about the arrests. He'd been documenting his own suspicions. His testimony sealed the case. The charges were extensive: wire fraud, identity theft, money laundering, extortion. The prosecutor said Jennifer and Marcus were looking at 15 to 20 years each in federal prison. Michael filed for divorce the next day. With Jennifer facing criminal charges and being held without bail, her claim to custody evaporated. Michael got a good lawyer, a woman named Sarah Torres who specialized in fraud cases. She worked with the DA's office to prove Michael had been a victim, not a participant. The credit card companies forgave the debt when they saw the police reports and evidence of identity theft. The mortgage fraud was trickier, but Sarah negotiated with the bank. They agreed to void the foreclosure in exchange for Michael's testimony against Jennifer. It took 8 months, but Michael got his house back. Most of the money was gone, spent or hidden in accounts we couldn't find. But the house was something. It was a start. The trial was hard. Sitting in that courtroom, listening to what Jennifer and Marcus had done to my son, to all those other people. But when the judge read the verdict, guilty on all counts, and sentenced Jennifer to 18 years in federal prison and Marcus to 22, I felt something release in my chest that I hadn't even known I was holding. Michael and Ryan moved back into the house on Riverside Heights. I helped them paint Ryan's room blue with clouds on the ceiling. We bought furniture at estate sales and thrift stores. It wasn't fancy, but it was theirs. One Saturday morning, about a year after everything fell apart, I was making pancakes in Michael's kitchen. Ryan was sitting at the table, coloring. Michael was reading the newspaper. "Grammy," Ryan said, looking up from his dinosaur picture, "is my other mommy ever coming back?" Michael and I exchanged glances. We'd been honest with Ryan, in age-appropriate ways. He knew his mother had done bad things, and was in timeout, as we'd explained it. "No, sweetheart," I said. "She's going to be away for a very long time." "Is that sad?" "It is sad," I said, "because she made bad choices. But you know what?" "What?" "You have your daddy and me. And we're never going to let anything bad happen to you. You're safe and you're loved, and that's what matters." Ryan thought about this. Then he went back to coloring. Michael got up and hugged me. "Thank you," he whispered, "for not giving up on me, for saving us." "You're my son," I said. "I'll always fight for you." And I meant it, because that's what mothers do. When our children are in danger, when they're being hurt, when they're too afraid to save themselves, we step in. We fight. We don't give up. Michael's doing better now. He still goes to therapy. He's rebuilding his credit. He got a promotion at work. He's dating again, slowly, carefully. He's learned to trust his instincts, to set boundaries, to ask for help when he needs it. Ryan's thriving. He's in kindergarten now, and he loves it. He has friends. He laughs. He feels safe. As for me, I learned something too. I learned that sometimes being polite, staying quiet, not interfering, that's not always the right thing to do. Sometimes love means being loud. It means asking hard questions. It means refusing to look away even when looking hurts. If I could go back to that day at Walgreens, watching my son's card get declined, I wouldn't change anything. Because that moment of shame, as terrible as it was what led me to dig deeper, to find the truth, to save my son and grandson. Life isn't perfect now. We're still rebuilding. There are hard days, but we're together. We're safe. And every Sunday, we have dinner at my house. Michael, Ryan, and me. We tell stories. We laugh. We make plans for the future. And every week, when they leave, Ryan gives me a hug and says, I love you, Grammy. And that makes everything worth it. Because at the end of the day, family is everything. And sometimes, just sometimes, one person's courage to look closer, to ask questions, to refuse to accept easy lies that can save everything that matters. I saw my son in trouble, and I didn't look away. That's all any of us can do. See the people we love, really see them, and when they need us, be there, no matter what it costs, no matter how hard it gets. That's what love is. That's what family is. And that's a lesson worth remembering